What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today we're going to go over all of the functions, wires, and inputs on your SK58 subwoofer package. So if we take a look at the amplifier, we have one side to connect to the battery of your vehicle and to connect the subwoofer itself. And then on the other side, we have the inputs for our head unit along with the controls for the amplifier. So looking at this side here, first we have the terminals to connect to the battery of our vehicle. So we have the 12 volt terminal that runs to the positive 12 volt of your battery. We have the remote terminal that runs to the ignition or accessory switch of your vehicle. And then we have the ground terminal that can run to the metal chassis of your vehicle. Next to that, we have the positive and negative terminals that we can use to connect the sub itself. You can actually use the included speaker wire from your kit to connect the sub to the amp. So you can take one end of your speaker wire and plug it into these positive and negative terminals. Then you're going to take the other end and plug it into the positive and negative terminals on the back of the sub. So with the included speaker wire, there's one way to tell which side is the positive and which side is the negative. Basically, the plain side of your speaker wire is the positive side, and the side with the text inscribed is the negative side. So you just want to match these ends with the terminals of your amplifier and the terminals of your sub. To connect the speaker wire into the amplifier, you're just going to take your small Allen key here. You're just going to use one end of the Allen key to loosen up these terminals. Then you're going to plug the positive and negative ends into the positive and negative terminals. Then connect the other ends into your subwoofer. Just be sure to match the speaker wire to the positive and negative terminals on both your amplifier and your sub. So now if we take a look at the other side of the amplifier, you'll see we have the power and protect light. The power light will tell us when the amplifier is powered, and the protect light will come on in case there's anything we need to fix with our install or if there's too much input coming into the amp. We also got the bass remote knob input to connect our bass remote knob here. This way we can control the volume coming out of our subwoofer from the front of our vehicle instead of having to go back wherever our amplifier is installed to make the changes. We also got the RCA line inputs to connect our head unit that has RCA outputs. But in case your head unit doesn't have RCA outputs, we also include the high level input wire to connect your head unit to the amp. So to set that up, you're just going to take this end of your wire harness and connect it to the amp. Then you're going to connect the high level output wires from your head unit to the high level input wires on the harness. We also include the RCA cable to connect your amplifier to your head unit. So now let's go over the controls for the amplifier. So next to the power light, we have the low pass filter, which will set the low frequencies coming out of the sub. For example, if I set this to 100 Hz, everything from 100 Hz and below will come out of the sub, and nothing above 100 Hz will come out. Next to that, we have the bass equalizer, which acts as an additional bass boost. So if we want some extra low end, we can raise this anywhere from 0 to 12 dB. Next, we have the phase knob, where we can flip the phase anywhere from 0 to 180 degrees. You basically just want to use this in case your subwoofer is out of sync with the rest of your setup. So if you're listening to music and the subwoofer sounds off from the rest of the speakers in your setup, you can use this phase knob to fix that. Next, we have the subsonic high pass filter to set how much high end comes out of the sub. So for example, if I set this to 30 Hz, everything from 30 Hz and below will come out of the sub and nothing above. So we can use the subsonic high pass filter and the low pass filter as the crossover to set the frequency range for the sub. And if you need help setting the crossover for your amplifier, check out the video we have on that. Lastly, we have the input level knob to set the level for our subwoofer. And we also have a video you can check out on how to set up the gain for your amplifier. So hopefully this showed you guys all of the wires, functions, and inputs for your SK58 package. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.